What's going on, my friends? It's me again. Of course it is. You know, if it was anybody else, I'd have a problem. Someone would have hacked my channel. But anyway, I hope you guys are well, and I am too. Just in case you're asking, I'm doing all right. Just getting a lot of music done here. I just got done. Got done a little early with the Stranger Things brief. Everything went well with that, with my music. And I am moving off to, I'm going to be doing some stuff that my next album is going to be. It's really cool. If you guys heard of groups like Explosions in the Sky, a lot of these ambient artists that are like, there's one called Hammock, like Hammock, but a little more melodic. I love that stuff, like post-rock stuff. I've talked about this. I'm going to start working on some stuff for a publisher. I did do some rock stuff for them, and another outfit that I'm working with a little. It's going to be some ambient music, and it's kind of got me, man, wanting to really get on that. So it's time, and it's time to really start doing that stuff. And really sitting down. I love writing melodic, inspirational music, and what better opportunity to that when they call if they want it for film and TV. So we'll do some of that, and I think it's going to be really cool, so it really will. Wanted to get on here, chit-chat, check in, as I always do. But I wanted to talk about something, as if you heard the title of this video, as simple as, like, don't get discouraged and just be careful of your sources that you watch on YouTube. And even in these Facebook groups, just be careful. I mean, in these Facebook groups, you still have people that believe the earth is flat still. And if you do, I'm no offense here, just, I'm not trying to piss you off. If you believe it, you have the God-given right to do it, and it's okay. You might know something more than I do. I believe the earth is round, and a lot of other people do too. If I can look out and see the moon is round, got a strong feeling that the earth is round, but you never know. But these are the same people that it's not just because they believe the earth is round, they just come up with all kinds of crazy stuff off the top of their head. I've heard like some people on the internet they only had 2 or 3 videos about 3 different things and not many followers, and I guess they're just on a different planet than us, so just be careful of your source. When you get in these groups and people start negating everything you say, you've done it and you know. I mean, honestly, I've had people that I've done videos like reviews of this air conditioning unit tell me, oh, that's a lie. There's no way. It's not that. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I own one. I know the technology. Trust me. There's no way you charged your AC up with an automotive system. That's a home. It's an automotive AC unit, folks. Yes, I did, and trust me, it is, and it works. Trust me. Just crazy things like that. People are just people. You just can't. Even if you ever start a YouTube channel, or if you do have one you're watching, you just don't let people get to you. I don't. I have a need to go. Comment back, and I could clarify it with one statement and just. But those people want to keep arguing. But my point here is, don't let people discourage you about RV life and van life. I mean, you got a lot of van channels out right now, and it's crazy. It really is. And you got some channels, and I've talked about before, I think they're layered with sponsors and maybe have people behind them, and it's all, I don't know, I wonder. There's a couple out there that I think are fake, and you don't get 2 million followers in a week or two, and all of a sudden, and you're not doing much of substance except showing yourself sitting in this van. I don't think there's much living in that van. One comes to mind, and if you ever seen that guy Dave 2D, I don't think he's van lifing. He's not van lifing anymore. He bought a house in Michigan, and he's doing really weird things. He's painting and just kind of sitting there doing his own thing. Has his own following. It's cool. It's Dave. He used to do all those van life roasting videos where he roasted van life. It was funny. It really was. That's what he should have stuck to. It was so funny. He was very good at that. But he says he knows her, but sometimes I think they're sworn to secrecy, some of these van life channels, and I think that one is Janelle. I can't remember her last name. Y'all knew what I'm talking about. She had the snake and the old beat up Chevy van that she turned into. Somebody's like calling, I hear a lot of foul on that. But you never know. But there are some that are fake. You have to be very careful about that. But you just don't there are some people out there that are going to discourage you and say, RV life, it's all a lie. It's not what you think it is. Listen, RV and van life is everything you make of it. You can live full time in a converted RV in a van like this. I'm doing it. I know. I've done it. I've lived in an RV. I know. You can do this. It by no means in a million years does it ever mean that you're homeless, because you damn sure ain't that. You got a home right here. I've got everything I need in here. You know, the shower isn't in here, but it's called Planet Fitness, or it's driveway surfing at my dad's, who I've been doing the last few months. So, listen, there you got a million and one options to live, you know. And I'm talking about this because I'm kind of leading into something that, you know, just because, you know, one is not in a van or an RV anymore doesn't mean it's not a travel channel or anything like that. I will myself always have a vehicle that I've learned out of this. And I could say, well, I shouldn't have sold my condo. I should have just kept that and had a vehicle to travel with. What I'm wanting to do is going to be, I probably would have sold the condo and done this anyway. You know, I don't regret things. You can't live your life going, you shoulda, coulda, woulda, and regret. It doesn't matter. You did it for a reason, and I enjoy it. The experiences in life was most important. So if you're like going, oh, God, I should never sell my house. You do what you want to do and what makes you happy and fulfills you, what you've always wanted to do. Don't ever let something dictate something that you want to do in life. Don't ever let it dictate your life of like, you know, I better not do that because I could do this, or what if. Do it, because you don't want to sit in your life going, I could have done a lot of traveling, or I could have done this. That's why I go in for my music. That's why I do what I do. And life is much easier, much happier, and much better when you're doing what you love and have a passion to, and you live how the hell you want to live. Don't live how you think you should live because someone else lives like that. In other words, don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't do it. Don't think you got to live in these big ass houses. You don't have to. Listen, all that stuff and those material things, it creates stress. Minimalism is real, and I'm telling you right now by experience, it really is so fulfilling to have fewer things and be very minimal. So, but like I say, don't let people discourage you and say, you know, van life, RV life is just too expensive and it'll never work for you, you know. Because it didn't work for them doesn't mean it won't work for you. It's as expensive or as cheap as you make it. You stay in RV parks every day, it's going to be expensive. You're going to pay rent, and you're paying their rent. And I know here in the South Carolina area, North Carolina, it's very expensive. $800-900 a month sometimes, or cheapest I've seen here for a monthly rate full time is $650 a month. But other parts of the country, it's way cheaper. It's like half that. And you may have to pay a little electricity, but it's nothing. In an RV, you don't use much electricity. You really don't. If you're running, you know, a furnace for propane, I mean, you're not using electricity. 12 volt at night and goes with it. You know, just small things like that. Because out west, a lot of people live in RVs, like in Oregon and California and Washington State and in Nevada, like in Vegas and stuff. It's really cool. But you got a lot of places you can park for free. If you choose to want to live in the desert and you live near a city, you can do it. Now, I will tell you that if you have health issues and stuff, you don't want to live too far away from a city center. You want to make sure that you're somewhere where you can get to doctors. And with sad as healthcare is right now, that's a whole nother topic I don't want to go into. It's ridiculous. It's bad that you have to be in the state you're in to go see your doctors. And you should be allowed to go any doctor, any hospital you want to go where you're at. And it should be covered in the same realm, you know. You should have the choices to do whatever you want to do. Never controlled by anybody else or any government or any agency. Never. You should be able to do that. You know, like I say, if you choose to want to be out in your home state is South Carolina, but you want to be in Arizona for 6 months a year, and you got to go to the doctor out there or physical. That doctor can send all your physical stuff to your doctor at home and keep we got technology where everything's in a database. So I'm getting off tangent here, but what I'm saying to you is you live how you want to live. Don't let people discourage you. Do it. There's nothing wrong. Just because I may be selling my van doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I love it. One thing this van has taught me is that I can live in this if I had to, and it's easy as hell. It really is. My situation is with my work and in things, I just need a home base where I can come to. I've got my studio. If somebody need to come to me, it's rare, but you know, I just love having all my gear in one place and be able to sit there. But I also love the fact I can take my laptop and I can go sit at Panera Bread and do work all I want. Or anywhere I want, or I can get in my car and travel, and I can sit in my laptop with one guitar. I can do my music anywhere. And it allows me to be able to go travel, and then maybe if I miss home, come home for a little bit, and long enough I miss hitting the road, I can hit the road, do what I want. Give those options. The channel, Less Junk, More Journey. They've got a little piece of land in Tennessee on his mom's place, or her mom's place, somewhere over there. Cookeville, Tennessee or something? I don't know. But anyway, it's really nice. They have a little place where they put their RV, and it's a little I think with COVID and all, I think it's taught us something and it's something you might want to think about. If you're going to go full-time van life or RV life, be thinking of a backup where you might have a home place to be able to park that thing, because I'm very fortunate my dad let me park in the driveway here for a little bit. Now, that's not to say right now I have to park it here. I don't. I can park this anywhere I had been parking. It doesn't matter. I've set this thing in Walmart parking lots and Cracker Barrel parking lots. I can live in RV parks. This thing will do it. I've got the technology, I got everything I need here. I can do it. I will say that I like windows. If there's one thing I would have changed about this van, putting windows in here. So that's not the reason why I'm selling this van, though. The windows are cool, but there's a stealth to it. It would give a passenger, maybe even windows could be more stealth. Think about that. So if you're looking to go van, as a side note, more windows can be stealth. It doesn't look more like you're living in it. It looks like a passenger vehicle, even though you're in it and they can't see it. But moving forth here, I'm just, progressing on to, and there's nothing wrong with this, because when I spoke of Less Junk, More Journey, they've bought and sold. They've been through 5 or 6 RVs. They went through 2 travel trailers, a Class A. They went through an Airstream. They went through a 5th wheel, and now they have a new 5th wheel. So we're talking 5 or 6 RVs they've gone through in 5 years. Almost an average of an RV a year, even though they had their Airstream the longest. So it's nothing wrong with it. Just because you buy another RV doesn't mean you don't like it. It's just, it takes a moment to find what you really want. I was excited. I love the fact of being in this van, and I still love it. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome. Whoever gets this van is going to love it. It is killer. And I'll tell you, on a side note, and what I've learned of hearing these upfitters talk, like Mark at Nomadic Customs in Oregon, there's a lot of doctors that buy these, and they buy them so they can park them at the hospitals. And it's their little place, a home away from home. They can sit in here, get sleep, and have their own time, and not have to be in the hospital. They have to work back-to-back shifts. They want to come in and get 5 or 6 hours sleep, be able to get up and come back and do it. Because they got showers in the hospital, and they can eat and have everything they need. And then come in here and have a cup of coffee and live. And they can travel in it. If you're a traveling nurse, this is about the best thing you could have. This in RVs if you're a traveling nurse. I'm telling you, it's great. So you be thinking about what you want. I've said this before, what you want out of an RV and what you want to do it. Don't let somebody tell you, well, this is the end of RV life and you don't want to do it. It's all a lie. Don't let anybody ever tell you that, because it's not accurate. For some people, if it didn't work out for them, doesn't mean it won't work out for you. And this individual, I heard, it didn't work out the time for her, but I don't think she's discouraging RVing as a whole. I think what she wants is what I want. She wants a little home base, and then wants maybe like, an RV or truck camper to kind of travel with, and I think it's cool. I've considered that truck camper, but you got to buy a big old truck and have that camper, and I think what's easier for me is just to have something that's less RV looking, it's quick, it's an everyday driver, and I can convert it to say, okay, I'm hitting the road. I mean, I drove across the country a year or two before I got the RV, and I could have taken my Honda HRV and done cool things with it. And it's called, I learned from my RV and I learned from the van about all this stuff. Now I know what I can do. I've been out there. It's easier than you think. And I know there's things that you don't have to put a lot of money into in van life. Listen, I've said this before, like Maddie, he watches my channel sometimes. And if you're watching this, and you can agree, Maddie starts out, he started his van out simple, still does, just adding to it as he goes along. Just like Chrome Valdez did, that channel, Van City Van Life. Chrome started out small and he has the van he wants, And he's like, I just embrace the fact I don't care if I've got a carrier on the top. Sorry about this. What in the world is that? Either a feather or a bug in front of me. Sorry. I don't care if I've got a rack and solar panels on top of my van now or whatever. I embrace the fact up in Canada, they're okay with that stuff. They don't care. They're cool with it. I wish they were more okay and cool with van lifers and RVers in the Southeast. But, I also believe that if they're going to be open to van lifers and RVers, they need to instill upon you need to have some respect and be clean and be courteous to where you're at. And these things happen. You get places you could park and it's great. They don't say anything, and all of a sudden they tell you no because some guy over here left a pile of trash over here and a broken down junk RV that won't run anymore. It's been sitting there piled with junk. I've seen this. It's insane. And I'm thinking, it's guys like that ruin it for us. I don't know if they just aren't mentally right or what's going on, but you're going to have that. So it's kind of one of those things that if you're going to do it, you got to have a standard. And that's what bothered me about Portland, Oregon, is that I was out there not this past summer, summer before my RV, and I did a quick video, my take on it. It's not good. They could be much cleaner and better. It's a disaster because it could be a nice city, but they're destroying it right now, unfortunately. And it's really the downtown area. It's not all of the city. I mean, some of you are watching from Portland, you know what I'm talking about. But they let these RVers park on the street, and I think it's cool they let them do it. But the problem is that they don't enforce it. They drop trash everywhere. You go down an interstate ramp, and a guy's got a tent on there, and there's trash all down. It's like, come on, man. The tent at the interstate is not safe anyway. You probably aren't mentally right doing that anyway. But having designated places is cool. But as a community, they need to police after each other and make sure that if you got an RV that's broken down, won't run. I mean, I've literally seen RVs look like they were just destroyed and people abandoned them, and they're just sitting on the side of the street and nobody picks them up, does anything about it. It's not enforced. And I mean, come on, I mean, have some respect. And that's not the only place. There's other places. But if you're going to embrace that, have some pride in it. That's the way I see it, And I've gotten off tangent here. But like I say, you do what you want to do. Don't let people discourage you. And just be careful in your sources when you're trying to research what you want to do. Now, my plans here, I've talked about I want to buy a lot somewhere, maybe build something. But I was talking to my buddy Clancy that helped me build this van. Good old Clancy. He is thinking about, and I'm thinking about doing it too, is if any of you know about these, chime in. I want to know more because I'm going to do some research on it. It's called pole houses, Pole houses. And they come in a couple of days, they'll build it. They build a concrete slab in your driveway, whatever you want. And you have to do the inside. Or you pay them the money and whatever. It costs more money. But to get the shell and the structure, then you insulate it, do the electrical, do the flooring, do the cabinets, everything, which is not hard. But they're going to build the structure for you. Whatever the high-quality windows and doors that you want, it's a strong structure from what I understand. And I don't know if it's a steel frame or steel and wood or what it is, but I want to learn more about it. I hear it's great. I mean, I think it would be really cool. And honestly, I'm only looking for about 600 square feet. I get a good utility room and have one big open with a partition wall for the bedroom and bathroom, and the kitchen opens up to my living room and studio. That's all I need. That's all I want. I think it'd be fantastic. So with that said, that's where my thoughts are on that. We'll see where it goes. I just got to do my research. Hopefully I'll start doing some here. I'm going to get the van ready. I got a lot to do before late March and my neck surgery, and depending on when that goes about. So I'm running on 20 minutes here. I'm going to jump off. I thank you guys for watching so much. And as I always say, if anything cool comes along, I'll cut you in. It's a little southern thing. But anyway, be cool. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Be cool. Bye.